Hey friends, how's it going? Today we're in the kitchen and we are going to make some candied jalapenos, AKA cowboy candy. Scott and I went to the farmer's market a couple of weeks ago and we got probably 4 pounds of jalapenos and we used a bunch up. Like we cut them in half and we made poppers where you fill them with cream cheese, wrap them in bacon, and then you throw them on the grill. So good. But I couldn't use them all up and they're starting to get a little bit rubbery in consistency or in texture. So I thought I would throw together some cowboy candy. I have about, 2 pounds here that I am going to chop up, make a brine, and stick them in the refrigerator. Most people can them. Well, a lot of people can them. I've canned them. But this time around, I'm just gonna throw them in some jars that I have laying around and I'm gonna put them in the fridge. You can use cowboy candy over cream cheese with a nice cracker or on a grilled burger. I've put them in with chicken and cooked them in the oven. There's so many different ways that you can use this. They're sweet and spicy and they have a little crunch to them yet. Oh, they're so good. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're going to make our brine because you want it to boil for about 5 minutes before you add the jalapenos to it. So the recipe calls for 1.5 cups of apple cider vinegar. And then we are going to do 2 cups of white sugar, 1 cup of brown sugar, and then we will do a teaspoon of garlic powder, a teaspoon of turmeric powder. And if you don't have any of these ingredients, you don't have to use them. One time I made it and I didn't have turmeric, so I just left it out. And then we will do a 1/4 teaspoon of ginger, ground ginger, and a teaspoon of mustard seeds, and let's see, salt. We're gonna do a 1/2 teaspoon. This calls for pickling salt. I don't have pickling salt, so I am using Himalayan pink salt. And then we are just going to bring that up to a boil and let it boil for 5 minutes to let the sugars dissolve and everything kind of work together. Okay, next we are going to cut up the jalapenos. I wear gloves. Some people don't wear gloves, but I wear gloves because one time when I was making them, I was cutting up, going right along, not even thinking, rubbed my eye. Will never happen again, let me tell you what. It burned. So I am just going to slice these jalapenos in rings and then let that boil for 5 minutes. When the timer goes off, I'm gonna put all of my jalapeno rings into the boiling brine that we have on the stove. I just finished cutting up all of my jalapenos. They're, not perfect by any means, and they are not all the same size. But the timer just went off for the brine, so I am going to take all of these and put them into the boiling brine, and I am going to let them boil for 5 minutes in the brine. Some people just put the jalapenos uncooked into the jar, but I find if you let them boil in this brine for about 5 minutes, it softens them up a little bit and you can fit more into the jar. Otherwise, you're putting raw jalapenos into the jar and then you pour the hot brine over the jalapenos and it kind of cooks them. so you don't fit as many jalapenos into the jar as you normally would. And then you have, you know, 25% jalapenos and 75% brine. And why would you want that? So I am just going to let these cook for another 5 minutes, and then we will can them up into, or we're not gonna can them, we're gonna put them into the clean jars and stick them in the fridge. The jalapenos are done cooking, so I have a slotted spoon. I am going to take the jalapenos out of the brine and put them in the jar, and I'm gonna pack them in there really well, and then I will pour the brine over the jalapenos once the jars are full. And you wanna push them down in there. Fit in as many as you can get. Oh, it smells so good. You guys, trust me, you do not wanna breathe in this steam. It will choke you out. Ask me how I know. All right, here we go. Let's do the bigger one next, because if you have people in your life that love spicy, these make great gifts. Like if you can them, I think you water bath can them for 15 minutes, I think, 15. Check that, double check that. Don't quote me on that, but I'm pretty sure it's 15 minutes. And you do it in the fall, and then you want to give it as a gift during Christmas time. Oh my gosh, what a wonderful gift of love, giving this to someone that loves spicy food in your family. One year, Scott and I did this with some really nice crackers and some cream cheese, and we made like a little basket, and we gave it to the people in our family that love spicy, and they were so happy. They asked for it again. So it's a good choice. All right, now we got it full. Let's pour some liquid over these puppies. And you know, if you have the leftover brine, I save it and put it into a jar, and I marinate chicken and pork chops, and I think I did chicken wings one time. Oh my gosh, and then we put them on the grill. They were delicious. All right, I'm just gonna let this cool before I put the lids on. These have cooled down a little bit, so I am just going to wipe the rim before I put the lid on so it doesn't get all sticky. You know, that brine has sugar in it, and it sticks a little bit, you know, especially when they're really full, like this little guy. Oh, one jumped overboard, better taste it. You guys, this is so good. Just be prepared. If you give these away for gifts, you will always be asked to make this. That's how good it is. Oh. Okay, there we go, all clean. The rims are clean, the jars are cooled, so I am just going to put the lids on finger tight and stick these into the refrigerator. I even got some leftover brine. I am going to stick this into some chicken and then throw it on the grill. All I do is lay the chicken thighs, breast, wings, whatever you have, pour this over the chicken, let it sit overnight, and then I throw the chicken on the grill and cook it, and it is delicious. I will throw these two guys into the refrigerator, and I probably won't open them for 2 or 3 weeks because I want all that flavor to just kind of meld together, and it'll get a little bit thick as it cools. Not a ton, just a little bit, but it is thebomb.com, you guys. I'm not kidding. So there you have it. I got 2 jars from about roughly 2 pounds of jalapenos, and my family is going to be so happy when I tell them I made these. So thank you for hanging out with me today in the kitchen and making some cowboy candy. Thank you for watching my videos and following along with me on my journey of this little homestead, and I'll see you on the next video. Have a great day, you guys. Bye-bye.